All right, well, it's 12:01 Eastern Time here in Philadelphia, and we'd like to get started with the presentation. I want to welcome everyone today to our info session for the Master of Environmental Studies program. My name is Dr. Yvette Bordeaux, and I'm the director of the Master of Environmental Studies program here at Penn. I'm actually the director of professional master's programs in Earth and Environmental Science, so we have another sister program that I also direct. And with me here today, we have Sally Cardy, who is our administrative director. And she is an amazing help as you're going through the process of applying. And then once you're here, she does all kinds of wonderful things for you to keep everybody on track. And we also have with us today Molly Gorlick, who is our enrollment specialist. And she can also help you as you go through the application process. And as you're being admitted and so forth, she can help you out there. So it's really great to see everyone today. If you have questions, you can put them. There's a Q&A in the bar. For most people, it's at the bottom of their screen. There's a little toolbar, and there's something called Q&A. And you can put your questions in there, and folks, and then we'll try to answer them. Either I can answer them directly, or Sally or Molly will respond. So yeah, and then I guess it looks like Sally's answering the first question. So thank you so much. Feel free to continue to ask questions in the Q&A. Also, as I'm speaking, Sally will be putting links into the webinar chat. So if you're interested in something that I'm talking about, you can click on that to see more. Also, just so you know, this entire slideshow will be available to you as a PDF. We'll email it to you if you registered for the session, and it has links in there as well. All right. Okay, and then we do have a number of questions already. Yeah, so this is a question about strengthening your application. And I'll just jump in really quick and answer this one. But I think as we go, just so you know, when we look at an application, we have a faculty committee that looks at every application. And we've had students with not the best grades, but a really good story in their essays, and also really strong recommendations where the recommenders say, I know this person can do well in your program. And those people have gotten in, whereas other folks have not. And as best as I can tell from looking at different applications over the years, having a really strong purpose, like what you want to do with the program, why you want to be in this program. And also, if you have weak spots in your transcript or whatnot, addressing them in the essays is always the best approach. There was an illness, or there was another issue, or I just was really struggling in this particular topic. Address it directly so that the reviewers will know what's going on. Okay. All right, so we're going to get started. This is the Master of Environmental Studies program at the University of Pennsylvania. The program started in 1996, so we've been doing this for about over 25 years. We're approaching 30 already, and it's just really, I feel that we have an excellent environmental program, an amazing group of alumni that includes over 500 alumni doing work in all different fields of the environment, and we'll talk about that towards the end. We've got some alumni slides. We are part of the School of Arts and Sciences. So the University of Pennsylvania has 12 schools, and we are part of the largest school, the School of Arts and Sciences, and we are housed in the Department of Earth and Environmental Science, which is in Hayden Hall, which is behind me here, and also on the screen on the slides. So this is Hayden Hall, and if you are academically housed there, you are part of the College of Liberal and Professional Studies. So the School of Arts and Sciences is the largest school in the university, and it's so big that it actually has 3 colleges. And we are housed within the College of Liberal and Professional Studies for your administrative work. But for your academic work, you're in the Department of Earth and Environmental Science. Okay. Yeah, we will do that as we go along. So there's a question in the Q&A about attaching a link to detailed curriculum. I'm actually going to be covering that in just a few minutes. Okay. All right. So, this is a professional master's degree as opposed to a research master's. Now, what's the difference? It turns out that our focus is on helping you find a job after graduation. Most of our students go on to private corporations, government, nonprofits, or NGOs in environmental fields. And it's a wide range. So when we talk about the curriculum, I'll be telling you about the different areas that our alumni go into. We do have a certain number, about a quarter of our students do go on for a PhD, either directly after our program or within 3 to 4 years of completing our program. And a lot of times that's just, they've gone through the program and they said, hey, you know what, actually, I like academic work. I want to stay in research. And we help them with that. But the program is really focused on professional development, professional goals, and working after graduation. Okay. You'll notice that there are some photos on all of these slides. These are our students. Here's a group in the Intro to Sustainability class attending the Sustainable Brands Conference. It was in Philadelphia that year, so the entire class went to the conference. All right, so why study in the environment in Philadelphia and at Penn? So that might be a question that you might have. There are other schools that are have full forests to study in or whatnot. What's special about Penn and Philadelphia? Well, it turns out quite a bit. Philadelphia is known for green infrastructure. This is a way of dealing with stormwater using green methods rather than gray methods. Gray methods being pipes and so forth. Green methods being more rain gardens and swales and green roofs and so forth. And so Philadelphia was the first city that had the EPA agree to allow them to control their stormwater using these methods rather than the gray methods, which would have cost the city billions of dollars and money that they did not have at the time, and would have required tearing up, streets and really been a mess. So this was an experiment that they worked on with the EPA, and it's really borne fruit. I mean, the city is much greener than it used to be, and our stormwater is in much better control. So you can actually study that with the Philadelphia Water Department. They're the ones that are spearheading this initiative. But there are also opportunities to do that right on our campus. Sustainability office Philadelphia is one of the first cities in the country to have a sustainability office. Okay, and that at the level of the cabinet. So many cities have sustainability offices, but they're not at the level of the cabinet, which means that the director of that office has a lot more insight into what's happening in the city and can make decisions about sustainability based on all of the different factors. Okay. We also have an energy office, which is really focused on renewable energy. We have Solarize Philly, which is focused on getting solar panels on all homes in the city, including, or in particular, low-income homes. We have the U.S. Forest Service Urban Research Station right here in the city. So you can do research on urban watersheds, on urban forestry, and there's just a whole range of topics that they're working on and you can get involved with. And EPA Region 3 is headquartered here in Philadelphia. So there are opportunities to volunteer and work with them, okay? So those are some things that are available to you just in the city itself. We call the city our living laboratory, as there are just so many opportunities to do research and work with city government and city groups, as well as, again, the U.S. Forest Service, the EPA, and many of our alumni work in these offices. So it's a really great opportunity to network. Now, at Penn itself, Penn President Gutman signed the American College and University President's Climate Commitment in 2007. And this commitment is to reduce GHG, greenhouse gas emissions, and more. And we're now working on Climate Action Plan 3.0. So we've really moved around. We've met a number of the goals that we've already set. Some of them we have not met yet, but we are every couple of years, we make a new plan and set new goals. And this year we're working on Climate Action Plan 3.0. And again, lots of opportunities to do capstone or research projects on one of the items, one of the key goals for the Climate Action Plan right here on campus. Now, we also have a lot of green infrastructure projects. One, because we wanted to really, as the city was moving to green infrastructure, we wanted to learn more about it as well. And so we created and this was an opportunity to control stormwater runoff in an area where we had a street flooding constantly. So after this was put in, we had no longer had the street flooding, and we were able to basically be successful in what we were trying to do. So it kept water flowing from the Palestra, which is the basketball stadium, and from one of our research labs from going into the street. This then allows cars to move through the street without flooding during storms. Okay, so there's a couple of questions in the Q&A. Sally, you can get the first one. The second one is about, would you recommend someone who would like to work in research to study in this program? This is a good question. And again, I haven't gotten to the curriculum yet, and I'd love to hold off on that until I get to that. And I think I might, I'll be able to answer you. Okay. Okay, and then also David is asking about IELTS. I think Sally can get that one, but again, I'll talk about that at the end when we do the requirements for application. All right, no problem. Keep asking. Totally good. So Penn has a number of these green infrastructure projects going on. Basically, now the city requires that any new buildings that are built within the city limits must have a way of controlling stormwater runoff from the property. And so all of our new projects, particularly the Sing Center for Nanotechnology, it has a lovely green roof, it has a beautiful courtyard, and all of these are there to control stormwater runoff. We also have Penn Park, which was in the last photo, in the last slide, and that is also a green infrastructure project to reduce flooding on the nearby Schuylkill Expressway. We have 6,000, more than 6,000, we have actually 6,800 trees, according to the most recent inventory of trees just on our 300-acre campus, okay? That's not including our arboretum, which is up in Chestnut Hill. So urban forestry is a big part of what we do on this campus, and you can get involved in all kinds of really cool projects working with trees if you're interested in an urban setting. There are opportunities to work on resilience and adaptation all over the city, but particularly on the campus, we're always looking for people to work on various projects. So good reasons to study here at Penn. In addition, we have the Water Center at Penn that's housed in the Department of Earth and Environmental Science. And with this group, you could work with faculty and outside groups on water policy, hydrology, and water infrastructure. We also have opportunities for funding if you're doing your own type of project, as long as it has some kind of connection to water, they'll fund you. There are seminars and conferences and internship opportunities with them. Okay. The Penn Center for Science, Sustainability, and the Media is a brand new center, just started last year. Michael Mann is the director, and the focus of this group is communicating climate and sustainability to the general public. There are opportunities to do research with him and the other fellows at the center, and to practice your writing. So there's actually writing competitions, there are opportunities to write blogs, and so forth. So really neat group to get involved with if you're interested in climate communication or sustainability communication. So we're not just water. The Climate Center for Energy is in the School of Design, and they do amazing work in the energy sector. So their main focus are energy policy, energy sustainability, and renewable energy. But they have student opportunities to work at seminars, attend conferences. They have paid internships every summer, and during the semester, we have one student working with them now. And you can actually apply for funding to do research. So lots of really neat opportunities if you're interested in energy, renewable energy, fossil fuels, and so forth. Okay, there's a few questions here in the Q&A. Would you recommend someone who, again, I'll address that one when we get to the curriculum. Any work done on related to or related to the growing litter problem and graffiti, the urban environment looks increasingly bad and leads to crime. So we do have projects again in the urban environment. That's one of our concentrations, and we found that greening helps, particularly, but we also have to worry about gentrification and pushing out lower income people. As you know, as we gentrify, taxes go up, and then people are pushed out of their homes because they can no longer afford taxes. So finding that balance, we're working on a high line similar to what New York City has, but we're worried about gentrification and impacting people who have lived in their homes for 40, 50 years, not being able to afford them anymore. So it's a balance. And there's definitely opportunities to work in the local schools. We have a place called the Netter Center here at Penn that works with local schools to talk about green infrastructure, about environmental opportunities. So that can be an area to work on. And of course, environmental justice work. We have a number of courses that focus on environmental justice in Philadelphia, but in other areas as well. We're very close to Chester, which is a huge environmental justice problem. They've got a lot of issues there, and we've had various student groups working in that area as well. Okay. And then how does the program address the study of climate change mitigation in industry, climate change adaptation policies? Is there a history of the program or alumni of the program working toward addressing climate change mitigation through industry adaptations? Yes, I guess that's the way to say it. We actually have opportunities for students to do internships with a lot of local companies and working with them, learning about life cycle analysis, product greening the supply chain, and so forth. There are certifications opportunities, which I'll talk about again in a few minutes. So yes, we do work with our students between coursework and also with some of our internship opportunities. You can work in this field. Okay. All right. So moving on, a little bit about our program. So we have two types of faculty in our program. Our research faculty, who are really working again on more theoretical issues and so forth. And so if you think you might be going into a PhD, or you're not quite sure if you want to do a PhD or go out and get a job, you might want to work with some of our research faculty on a project that they're doing. They're working in soils, atmospheric chemistry, environmental geochemistry, plastics in the environment, and so forth. And so you can work with them, still get your degree here, and then potentially go on for a PhD afterwards, or you'll still have that opportunity to go out into the workforce and work afterwards. The other type of faculty we have is our professional faculty. They're working all day, they're coming to class at night, or they're working with you on your capstone project. So these folks come from Willistown Conservation Trust, SUEZ, US EPA, Environmental Consulting, and WRI, World Resources Institute, just to name a few. So you can see our faculty pages to see some of the places that our folks work. But they're coming in with real world experience and passing that on to you, what works, what doesn't, what they're seeing, and getting that from a number of different viewpoints, which is always important. Okay. This is a photo of John Friedman from Viola Water Technologies and MES students at World Water Week in Stockholm. We've had students attend that conference and learn a lot about water issues. Now, a little bit about our curriculum. It's a multidisciplinary approach to the study of the environment. The environment is very broad, and you cannot focus on just one area and not know the rest. In other words, if you're focusing on sustainability, you probably need to know a little bit about risk. You need to know, which is more of a policy issue. You need to understand environmental policy, environmental law, and it really helps to have a little bit of science. So if you did not have the science in the in previous times, right? Your background maybe in economics or something like that, we can help you build that science. And the program is tailored to your goals and your background. So we're going to say, what do you want to do when you graduate? And what have you done so far? What is your curriculum from your undergrad? What experiences have you had? And then we'll figure out what you need to be an excellent candidate for the position you're looking for. Okay. All right, good. And this is Keon Monroe. He is working on the Modus array. He knows nothing about birds, or knew nothing about birds at the time as a student, but he was very interested in technology and programming and so forth. And so he was able to work with us on our Modus antenna, which is on the roof of one of our buildings here at Penn. It's part of a massive array of antennas around the world now that track birds flying, migrating, and so forth. And he was able to use his technical skills to help bird researchers learn more about what these birds are doing and using these antennas as the data points. So very cool program. All right, so the curriculum is, okay, I'm just looking at the questions real quick. I think I'm going to answer this one in just a minute here. So it's a 12-course program. We have, each course is worth 1 credit unit. And 1 credit unit is equal to 3 semester hours. So it's a 36 semester hour program. There are 3 required courses: the pro seminar, Contemporary Issues in Environmental Studies. That's going to make sure that you are up to speed on the science and all the basic principles of environmental issues. Then we will, that particular course has group projects. So you'll be working with groups. Right now we're working with a small town in upstate New York to help them produce a climate action plan. So it's real world problems. We have 1 semester to do it, and you do learn a lot in that class. Research methods is a course that you choose based on what you decide to do for your capstone project. So it could be statistics, it could be geologic or geographic information systems, it could be field botany, it could be life cycle analysis. There's many different things that can be used for that course. It's unique to you and what your skills are and what you need. We also have 4 the last required course is the capstone seminar, and that's where you pick your capstone topic. And I think this is going to answer that question. Would I recommend someone who would like to work in research to study in this program? Oh, okay. Yes and no. So I want to answer this in 2 ways. So the capstone seminar project is where you pick your topic. Okay. And this is where you're going to write your proposal and you're going to choose your readers. These are 2 people who will be your committee and work with you through the rest of your program to complete your research. Okay. And so that's where you're going to decide if you're going to go more of the research route or more of the practical, I'm getting a job as soon as I graduate route. Okay. And at that point, you can make those decisions and also choose your committee. So you don't have to come in, apply to the program and start emailing all of the faculty asking if they'll be your advisor. That's typical for a research master's, but for a professional master's, you wait till you've been here for a semester, you've met professors, you've interacted with them in conferences and seminars and coffee hours and things like that. And then you choose your advisor in your 2nd semester. All right. So it's an opportunity to get to know everyone and really think about what you want to do for your project. And then in that 2nd semester, you do all of that work. You write your proposal, you obtain your advisors and so forth. Okay. Now, the question actually was, would you recommend someone who would like to work in research to study in this program? It depends a lot on, I think it depends a lot on what kind of research you want to do, if that's something that we do in our department or if we do here at the Penn. If there's someone here at Penn that's doing that kind of research, absolutely, you can come here and work in there. If you're planning to go on for a PhD, you just know you're going to do a PhD. This probably is not the right program for you. Again, because we really do focus more on the professional development rather than academic development, because academic development, you're going for a PhD, you're hoping to be, an academician someday, you want to be a professor, you really want to be working on that. Having said that, if you're not sure, we can help you with this. And again, there are teaching assistant positions available for students every semester. So there's opportunities to get teaching experience while you're here. You can work with our research faculty. So I would say that if you absolutely know you want to go PhD, it may not be quite the right program for you, but if one of our faculty is doing what you want to do, sure, let's talk. We'll get together. We'll see if it's the right fit for you. Okay. So that's that one. And then cross-disciplinary study. Okay, so now we're going to get into the rest of the curriculum here. So after you do your 3 required courses, you have 4 foundation courses and 5 concentration courses. So you'll pick a concentration, we have 6, and you'll take 5 courses in that area. And we designate specific courses that count for that. And then you have to take 4 foundation classes, and these are courses outside of your concentration that will complement your goals and what you want to do with your concentration. So again, it might be environmental law, it might be a science class, but if your concentration's in the sciences, maybe it's policy, maybe it's sustainability. All right, you are assigned an academic advisor the day you accept your offer to the program. And that academic advisor talks to you constantly throughout your program, making sure that they know your goals, because your goals may change after you've taken a few courses here, met a few people, networked and so forth. You might find out about a position that you never knew existed, and that then becomes your goal. So we're going to work with you as those goals change or stay the same. They're going to help you with selection of courses. So you're not doing this in a vacuum, but each course that you select will be unique to you. So 2 people, I don't know how many people there are here now. There are 51 people here. If all 51 of you started at Penn tomorrow in sustainability, for example, there would not be probably two people that would take exactly the same courses throughout their program. Because again, it's unique to your background, unique to your skills, your experiences, all of that, and then also your goals. So your goals are all different, your backgrounds are different, so your coursework is going to be different, and your capstone is going to be different. Okay, so it's a very customizable program, and again, you're assigned an advisor, so they help you through the whole process. So the concentrations include environmental biology, very science heavy. You really do need a science background for that. For the other ones, you do not need a specific background, but the other concentrations are environmental sustainability, environmental policy, resource management, urban environment, environmental resilience and adaptation. And if none of those fit your goals, we have something called individualized, which allows you to decide what your goal will be. Some of our students right now are doing sort of an energy management concentration. That's what they're calling it. So they're very focused with the Climate Center on that work. Okay. Okay, I think there was one question in here that says, does the program offer OPD opportunities post-graduation? I think you might mean OPT, which is the occupational, it's an opportunity to work in the US after graduation. Yes, we do. And yes, we are STEM. Okay. All right. Now, okay, and I'm going to keep going. If there's, Sally, if you see something in the questions that I can address immediately, just let me know. I think a lot of these I will be addressing in the next couple of slides. I'll just grab Alyssa here, asked if what's the typical timeline for degree completion. Full-time students typically finish the program in 2 years, and part-time students 3 to 4 years. Available to you here, but we certainly can help you if that's something that you need to do if you have a scholarship or something. But most students take 2 years to complete full-time and 3 to 4 years part-time. And the average class size for courses is 18, and I will mention that in a few minutes. All right, so I'm going to jump back into the presentation, but here's one. What concentration would you recommend for someone who wants to go into environmental writing or journalism? I would say for that, I would recommend the individualized concentration and working with the Penn science, sustainability, climate, and education group because they're working in science writing right now. So I think that would be a good group for you to work with. Someone just asked what the energy management concentration entails. So there isn't a specific one in that. It's individualized. It's just something that some of our students have been doing. We ask them to call it something. Individualized concentration in what? And so a number of them have said energy management, and it's unique to each student. So each student is picking a selection of courses from Wharton and from the design school. The Kleinman Center has a series of courses in energy management. You can get a certificate in that, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. So they're putting together a program that they feel will be helpful in their search for jobs in that field. Okay, so it's a little unique to everyone. All right, so and yes, and I just mentioned this. There was a question about, can this program be taken part-time? Absolutely, it can be taken part-time, and you can do the entire program at night. So our classes are on campus. We have a few online courses, not many, but all of our classes are on campus in the evening. So you can work during the day and go to class at night. This is for our program. Now, if you want to take courses in other schools, like Wharton, the business school, or the School of Design where the Kleinman Center is, those classes are during the day. And so you would not be able to take advantage of those classes, but you could do the entire program in our department part-time in the evenings, and you can keep your full-time job. Okay, and you can also, as a student who is a full-time student, besides taking advantage of those day classes, you can also, many of our students in their second year pick up an internship during the semester, so they can work full-time or part-time with an internship during the day and take the classes at night. Shirley's asking about how many, it's full-time students take 12 courses over 2 years, how many courses per semester. We actually have 3 semesters. We have summer, fall, and spring. Most of our students do summer and fall and do an internship, or sorry, spring and fall, and they have internships over the summer. So you can do 3 in the fall, 3 in the spring, first year, 3 in the fall, 3 in the spring, second year, you're done. But you can also take courses over the summer, and some people do that. That can allow you to complete the program doing 4, 4, and 4. So 4 in the fall, 4 in the spring, 4 in the summer, and complete it 1 year. Again, I don't recommend that route because you also have to do a capstone research, and it's 4 classes. It's really tough. All right, so let me go on a little bit here about the curriculum. So courses for credit in the field, we have field courses. We have courses that go to Puerto Rico. We have a course in birds as bioindicators, where you go out and look at birds in the field. There's creating gateways to land through smarter conservation. You'll be doing some trips to Stroud Water Research Center and various streams, and also the Willistown Conservation Trust to see various types of research in action. We also have other field courses where you're actually going somewhere but not outdoors. One of them is the Future of Water, where you go down to Washington, D.C. and meet leaders in the water field. We also have this year, it'll be this spring, the World Water Forum course. The course is only offered every 3 years because the conference is only offered every 3 years. This year it's in Bali. I should say next year it's in Bali. It's in May. The course travels to the water conference. You participate fully in the conference. Sometimes our students present at the conference. And it's the largest water conference in the world. And it only takes place every 3 years. So if your stars align, you might be able to participate in that class. Okay. In terms of the capstone requirements, we prefer applied projects over theoretical ones. We really want you to do something where you can maybe work with a company or an organization or somebody that needs something done and show that you can solve their problem for them, right, through this capstone research. It's also an opportunity for you to show off the skills and knowledge that you've gained throughout the program. And we really want to focus on your goals, so your career goals. So we want you to do something that's going to help you get that next job. All right. So you can work with your current or potential employers. You can work on applied projects with some of our faculty who are our practitioners and some of our research faculty. If you really want to do a research project, you can work with our research faculty. This is Naimal and Brian in Bangladesh. They went and did 2 different capstones, but in Bangladesh. One was on water quality and one was on citizen science, and it was a really nice opportunity for the 2 of them to work together in the country on the water issues. All right, so some example capstones include, energy efficiency, air pollution, agroecology. They're all over the place because, again, our students have very different goals, and so they want their projects to help them find that next job, and so their projects relate to what they want to do for their careers. Okay. Now, professional development. This is the part. So we are a professional program, and we do have professional development throughout our program. Some of the things that we do, we have a first-year retreat. So when you come into the program, the first thing you're going to do is meet with us before classes start. We'll be talking, you'll meet with your advisors in person. You usually meet with them on Zoom over the summer before you start, if you start in the fall, over the fall if you're starting in the spring. This is an opportunity for you to polish your networking skills, hear from current students about their experiences, learn about all the Penn resources available to you. And we often have some of our second-year students talking about their research and some of the opportunities that they've taken advantage of while they're here at Penn. Then we have another retreat in October. It was just last Friday. And there you learn about research opportunities, finding the perfect job for your internship, or a perfect job or your perfect internship, different interview skills, resumes. We work on all of that, negotiating salaries. Okay. And we also have someone come in and talk about time management, effective reading and writing and so forth, so that you have some of those soft skills. And then at the end of this, we had a alumni meet and greet. And that was a really great opportunity for students to meet some of the alumni who were able to come to it. On Friday night, it was really a great opportunity. It was a great night. It was really beautiful weather. And we do this every year. So it's a networking opportunity. We have alumni panel in the spring semester that's hosted by our graduate advisory board. And those students pick the alumni that will come and talk. They ask them questions, and then the audience gets to ask them questions, and there's a happy hour afterwards so you can network with those alumni. Certifications, we offer these certifications to you. So these are not certifications that we give out ourselves. These are outside of Penn opportunities. So LEED Green Associates, many of you have probably heard of LEED certification. We pay for you to go and take that course and take the test to become certified as a LEED Green Associate. We also have the Greenhouse Gas Inventory certification. This is, again, a group through WRI, the World Resources Institute, and students take the course online, take the test, get certified, add that to their resume. So we have those 2 plus life cycle analysis is a certification now, and HAZWOPER 40-hour training, which is useful if you're going into environmental consulting. All right. So all of these are available to you during the semester on top of or in addition to your coursework. And that's why we really advise 3 courses a semester. 4 is your limit. You can not take more than 4 because we found students are not able to manage all of the work. But these are the kinds of things that you can do in addition to, right, your coursework to add certifications and, again, improve your opportunities for jobs after you graduate. We have a number of dual degree opportunities, and I think someone in the Q&A asked about this. We have a dual degree. So dual degrees are opportunities to get 2 master's degrees while you're at Penn and reduce the total number of courses that you have to take in order to get both degrees. It will extend your time. You're going to take, for most of the programs, you'll need more than 2 years to complete a dual degree, but well worth the time and energy because you're double counting some courses. So it reduces the total number of courses you have to take and allows you to get these 2 degrees and intermingle the 2 disciplines. So for example, with the MBA, you get the MBA in the Master of Environmental Studies. This can help you with sustainability and working in corporate sustainability offices around the world, right? While we have a dual degree with the JD, which is the, if you want to be a lawyer, but we also have the Master of Law, which is you learn about the law, but you don't become a lawyer at the end. All right. So those two dual degree options through the law school. Through the School of Medicine, we have the Master of Public Health. That's become very important to understand the environment and the public health. Social Policy and Practice has a master's in nonprofit leadership. So you can get a dual degree with that. The School of Design, we have two dual degrees with them, one in city planning and one in landscape architecture. The Veterinarian School, veterinary medicine degree. There's veterinarians are learning that climate is playing a crucial role in the health of their animals, and they need to know more about the environment. So, and then we have the Master of Public Administration, which is also in the School of Arts and Sciences, and you can get those two degrees together. So understanding environment and government. Now, we also have the Mean Pre-Tech and Tsinghua University triple master's degree. We call it the multi-master's degree. And it's an opportunity to get degrees at University of Pennsylvania, Mean Pre-Tech, and Tsinghua University in environmental. And it's an additional, so you come here, you take 8 courses with us, and then you go to Tsinghua, you take a semester there, and then you go to Mean Pre-Tech and you do a semester there. You complete a 6-month internship, all right? You write that up and submit that capstone to all 3 schools. You defend, and at the end, you'll receive 3 degrees. It's a postmaster's degree in environmental management from Mean Pre-Tech. It's a master's of science in environmental management from Tsinghua University, and of course the Master of Environmental Studies from Penn. That program, if you're interested, you come to Penn, you get admitted to Penn first, and then you apply for it in your in January of your first year. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Now I'm going to just double check. Okay. There's a question here from Megan about the sustainability. The sustainability field evolves at lightning speed. How does the curriculum keep up with changes in science, regulations, best practices happening in real time? And that's a great question. And the answer is our faculty, right? We have people who are working in the field right now. So they're working all day, doing this in their sustainability offices in their different companies. And then they're at night, they're coming in and they're sharing those experiences with you. Okay, so that's one area that I think that we're in pretty good shape. It is tough. There's no textbooks, that's for sure. And you're not going to be either necessarily, because again, the stuff is not published. It's just happening really fast. Your certifications that you'll be working on while you're here, like the life cycle analysis, that's based on up to date what's happening right now in the field. Okay. Okay, now next is certificates. So if you don't want to do a full dual degree, you might want to do a certificate. And we have opportunities for you to do certificates in geographic information systems, which is mapping, land preservation, resilience, energy policy, and law. So these are a few of the opportunities. Here's a picture of our students at a coffee hour. We have those each month on a different day so that students can get together and network before class, and also get a lot of sugar and caffeine. Okay. Now, ones that schedule trips and happy hours and the alumni panel, and they work closely with Sally Carty to get together with they're doing the haunted house this year. So lots of really fun activities, so you're not just working all the time. We have the WH2O Journal of Gender and Water through the Water Center, and this is an opportunity for you to write blogs, write articles, or become an editor. So you'll actually be reviewing articles with a professor to determine whether the article will be accepted into the journal for that issue. Okay, so opportunities to do that. Other opportunities, you can do research either with your capstone or just independent study work with the U.S. Forest Service, the Northern Research Station I mentioned earlier, Stroud Water Research Center, which is nearby, south of Penn, and Tacony Frankfurt Watershed Partnership, another group in Philadelphia that works on watershed issues. We have Cobb's Creek Watershed, students working there. There's so many different opportunities around the city where you can do some work. We have other opportunities. We have problems in West Virginia where communities are having trouble with access to water. There's the EPA Rainworks Challenge. Our Penn students won last year. Actually, it was a year and a half ago. They won the challenge, and now that's being implemented. There's a Patagonia case competition. If you've heard of Patagonia that sells clothing, they have a case competition every year, and our students, combined with law students and Wharton students, put together a case and won third place. So they were really excited about that. And there are opportunities to go down to Washington, D.C. for case workshops such as AAS. All right. So, and there's many more. There's all sorts of competitions and things that you can participate in. All right. There's opportunities to publish. You don't have to, but again, if you're thinking PhD, either immediately after graduation or maybe 2-3 years later, you might want to try to publish while you're here. And you can do that. You can publish independent studies, capstones, additional projects that you're working on. You can collaborate with faculty or other local organizations like EPA, U.S. Forest Service, Straub Water Research Center, etc. You're encouraged to present at conferences, and we can help you with the costs of attending. It's a great networking opportunity. We've had students attend a number of different ones. I guess 6 of our students went up to Fashion Week in New York City a couple of weeks ago. There's a lot of different conferences out there, and depending on your focus and your interests, we can help direct you to the right conferences. And again, you can present or just attend and meet people in the field. But there's also the All Ivy Environmental Career Fair, and this happens every year in the spring semester. And when possible, we send students up to Columbia University via a bus. We actually rent a bus, and our students go up together. The last few years, because of COVID, it's been online, and I believe it's online this February. Unfortunately, we're hoping it'll be in person going forward, because it's a really great opportunity for our students to go up and meet other Ivy League people in industry and get opportunities to get jobs and internships. We've had a number of students get jobs on the spot at this career fair. And we also have our graduate research conference, which is held in March every year. You're invited. We'll be sending out information about that as we get closer. It's an opportunity for our students to present posters and let us know so you can learn what they're doing for their research. And we have career opportunities. There are tables around the outside, different organizations looking for students to do internships and jobs, and you can network with them as well. Lots of alumni attend, faculty, and people from other organizations around Philadelphia are typically there at the conference. So it's a great opportunity, again, to get a position. We really encourage students, if they're not working full-time, to get an internship. And sometimes even if you are working full-time, we can help you find something potentially that you could do evenings or weekends to get a new skill or opportunity that will help you with if you're planning to change positions down the road. So here are some of the local places that our students, and also our students get internships all over the world. We had a student who just actually took a leave of absence for a year and did an internship in Europe, and then she came back and she's just finishing up the semester. So lots of different options and opportunities for you if you find a really good opportunity out there. All right, a little bit about our program. We have about 140 students taking classes this semester, and it's skewed a little bit female right now, 60-40, and that actually reflects, we went back and looked at our application pool, and we tend to get more women applying than men. We're not exactly sure why, but there it is. Our average class size is 18 students. We have a couple of classes that we allow to go up to about 21 to 24. Now, this does not include courses in other programs. So this is in our program. So if you go over to an MBA class, you may be in a class of 50 or 100. We can't control those numbers, but within our own classes, we keep the numbers low so that you get to know your professors and can rely on them for recommendation letters or even job opportunities later on. Our typical majors, there is no typical major. If you're going into environmental biology, you definitely should have a biology background. But we've had students with geology backgrounds, economics, English, political science, religious studies, and do quite fine in the program. Again, we will help you with any background science that you're missing to help you out. International students make up about 15% of our program, and these are some of the countries that they're from, the students that are here now. A couple of students asked about OPT and CPT. So you are eligible after your first year in the program to do an internship and be paid for it. That's curriculum practical training. And you also have the opportunity to do optional practical training after you graduate. We are STEM, so you will get the full extra time to work in the country after graduation. Okay. Oh, and here's the slide for that. You can also work on campus, of course, at any time. And also that, if you work for the summer and you think that you might be wanting to go on to the fall working with this company, we can help you out with that. Okay. All right, some of our alumni positions, places where our people work. These are a list of some of those places, and I've linked out, again, we'll send this PDF to you after the presentation. I've linked out some of the students that I've shown in these pictures to their LinkedIn profiles, so you can check them out. All right, so next steps. I think this will answer a number of the questions in the Q&A. We have rolling decisions, so that means that once we receive your application, typically we can get you a response within 10 days, 10 business days, of which is typically you'll receive an invite for an interview. And our deadlines are November 1st for spring admission, and our priority admission deadline for fall is December 15th. And our final decision deadline is April 1st. So there's a little bit of a little bit of an edge if you can apply by December 15th if you're planning for a fall start. And then April 1st is the absolute. We cannot take applications after that because we need to get you into the systems and ready to go for the fall. Okay. Now, application requirements include LPS application. There's an application online. There are application essays. Okay, there are 3 of them. Someone asked in the Q&A, how long should the essays be? They don't have to be particularly long. Most students that are applying are writing a few paragraphs for each question. Really just enough to get the point across of what the questions are, how did you become interested in the environment? What would you like to do while you're here at Penn? And what would you like to do with the degree once you graduate? Those are the 3 questions. And I find that last one is super important. They want to see, as far as I can tell, the faculty really want to see that you have a plan and some direction. Because if you're coming and you say, I don't know what I want to do, and you can waste a lot of time. It's a very short program. It's only 2 years if you're full-time. And we really want you to hit the ground running and get you guided into the right direction as quickly as possible. Okay. Beyond that, there's an application fee. We need official transcripts from all colleges and universities that you attended. If the universities and colleges were outside of the United States, they have to be evaluated by a group like CertFile or WES. We want an updated resume. If English is not your first language, we're asking for a TOEFL. Typically, we'd like to see a score of 100 or better, and IELTS a score of 7 or better. Okay, those are what we're looking for. Occasionally, I think someone asked if a 6.5 would be acceptable. Potentially, yes. Again, we would want to maybe have an interview with you, talk to you, and make sure that you're, this is a writing intensive program. There's presentations that you have to give, so it's important that your English is, good enough to be able to do that. Plus, it's a graduate program. It's in English, so it's really challenging if you cannot quite understand what people are saying. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're set up for success. And 2 letters of recommendation. They can be from professors from your undergraduate program or another master's that you've attended, or they can be colleagues if you've been out of school for a while and have not kept up with your professors from undergrad. You can use supervisors or colleagues that can speak to your interest in this a program, interest in the environment, and that your ability to, do well writing, speaking, and so forth. Okay, so questions. So I see there are a number of questions here. I'm going to start down at the bottom here. There's quite a few. Are there application fee waivers? Generally, no. We do not have an application fee waiver. I've tried that a couple of times with the admissions office, and they have not allowed us to do that. Is the TOEFL required if you've been living and working in the U.S. for 15 plus years? You can request a TOEFL waiver. You just email the admissions office and ask for a waiver, and they'll look at your application, see that you've lived in the U.S., and typically they will waive that requirement. Okay, and who's next here? So this student said, I will not be able to pursue a dual degree due to time constraints. I get that, it's tough. But I have some interest in taking classes provided by other schools, such as Wharton. Do you usually allow students to take classes of other schools? Absolutely. You may take 4 courses outside of arts and sciences. And so again, you'll work with your academic advisor to strategically choose those courses to get the most out of your opportunities. And again, you can take courses in Wharton, engineering, at any of the other 11 schools, though I've never had anyone take anything in the dental school. They've definitely taken courses in all the other schools, including veterinary medicine. They have some really interesting courses if you're interested in animals and environment. Okay. What can you tell me about the interview process? Should we be invited? Yes, actually, they're going to talk to you about your goals and your interests, and just learning a little bit more about you. They really do, the professors really like to know a little bit more about you, and make sure that you're a good fit, that this program is best for you. It's, it's 2 years out of your life. It's quite expensive. The program can be, a little bit expensive. So we want to make sure that you have, it's a good fit, basically. Okay. Is GRE not required? That's correct. We are not requiring a GRE or GMAT score anymore. That was the decision of the Department of Earth and Environmental Science to make the program more accessible. No, there's no GRE requirement. You can absolutely, if you have the scores and you're proud of your scores, you can definitely put them up there. It will be taken into consideration during the review process. Okay. And let's see what else. Scholarships and costs of the program, I think. Let's see. Oh, you can follow us on Facebook, that's for sure. Let me see here just a minute. And that's funny because I thought I had some stuff on that. Oh, somehow I skipped over a couple of slides. Let me go back. Financing your education, there's subsidized student loans is one way that students pay for their tuition. Company tuition benefits is another one when students are working full-time and their companies have tuition benefits. Their students fund their through external scholarships. We have no scholarships within the department or the school for our program, unfortunately. We do have TA positions. They're semester to semester positions that you apply for once you're admitted. And we have funding for capstone research and travel to conferences and so forth. But in terms of tuition, most of our students, again, are paying for it through outside scholarships and subsidized loans or tuition benefits from their companies. Okay, good question. Okay, I'm going to go back to the social media there. Okay. There was a question about, should we include a separate addendum to discuss any weak spots in our transcripts? You absolutely can. You submit the answers to the 3 essay questions as one document, so you can certainly add a section about that. All right. There's a question about the essays. How would we recommend balancing emphasis on why we're interested in the program versus why we're qualified or would be a good addition to the program? I think those go hand in hand. Your interests, I think, will align with what you're, we're really interested in both. So I think that if you can cover both those 2, the second and third essays, I think we'll be able to do that. So I think they're both important, and I think if you address one in each essay, you'll be fine. As a foreign resident in Philadelphia, is the English test applicable to me? And I think that, again, I think that you can absolutely request a waiver. You just email the admissions office. Their email is right on the application page. And they basically just assess your application and say, you know, yes or no. And you can also chat with them individually if you feel that you know, if they say no, we're not waiving it, then you can chat with them, and that might also be an opportunity for them to decide to waive that requirement. Okay. Okay, and then Charlotte's asking about advice on the application essays since she studies business, wonder where to find some valuable resources. Again, the essays are really about you, right? Your interests, why you want to do this program, and what you want to do in the future. So it should be a fairly easy set of essays because it is about you. We're not asking you about technical issues or information. It really is about your interests, your goals, and how you think this program can help you with those goals. Okay, hope that helps. What is the average age and also median age of current students? Oh gosh, I used to have a slide for this. I think I took it out because my slideshow is so long. I'm thinking about 26 is the average age. We do have some students who are up in their 50s and 60s. We have a couple of students who are sub-matriculating from the University of Pennsylvania, so they're undergrads at Penn, so they bring our age down to like 19 or 20. So I think 25 is about the average age of the students. Okay, and then do you have additional opportunities to speak with professors or recruitment professionals about building a strong application? You absolutely can reach out to us, to Molly, Sally, and myself, and we can absolutely chat with you about that. Okay. And then we also have what we call virtual cafes the first Tuesday of every month. Where at noon, we just have a virtual cafe where you can come in. Sally Willig is there, different Sally. And she also can give you advice on the application process. And those virtual cafes are listed on our website. Or you can just set up a meeting with us. Coming from a finance background, I'm interested in taking some courses from Wharton. That's Renee. And how have previous finance professionals benefited from or faced challenges in studying in MES? Yeah, again, you can take up to 4 courses in Wharton while you're here. Our business professionals have done extremely well. Again, our courses, we have sustainability courses. We're focused in business. We're really trying to get you into positions related to business. So our students who have had a business background have done extremely well. And you don't need to do additional prep over the summer. That's always a question. Okay, did I hit everybody at this point? Oh wait, okay, so there's one about from Bangladesh. I'm planning to concentrate on climate change fund management as my country is one of my most vulnerable countries. My IELTS score is 6.5. Again, you can apply for a waiver for that requirement of 7. Or reach out and we can do an interview and see if we can assess to see if we can, if you know you would be successful. That again, we just want you to be successful in the program, and we don't want to set you up for failure by not having enough language skills to be successful. Okay. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? Here we go. Yes, average working experience. We'd love to have you to have had 2 years of working experience minimum. That can include internships or research projects that you've done at your undergraduate school. It's not it's not a non-starter. In other words, if you don't have work experience, you might still be admitted. You'd want to just address how you're going to catch up, as it were, because it does help to have some experience in the workforce before you come to the program. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. There's some folks saying thank you in the Q&A. Appreciate it. And we'll send this presentation out to you as well as the recording of the session. All right, well, it's 1:06. I think we've hit all the questions. A couple more thank yous. Thank you. You're welcome. Hope to see some of you applying, and it would be really terrific to see you coming to Penn. Zhu is asking, is it required for a 4-year undergraduate U.S. student to get a TOEFL score for the application process? Again, they assess your application, ask for a waiver when you apply, and typically you can get a waiver. You may, again, have to do an interview on Zoom just to show that you have your language skills, but they can typically waive them if you've been in the country for 4 years.